Welcome back, Carter. Bits be tripping. Glad to have you guys back, and let's get right into this one. So who here is exhausted at trying to explain to friends and family and anybody that knows that you're a crypto person the same story of why now Bitcoin is $42,000 and pushing up? Why is Ethereum almost at all-time highs? Like, I have fielded more calls, more text, more DMs than a long time just to help people kind of get some levity on why finally now crypto is moving, and some of the enablers, not just the technology enablers versus like 2017, where before we didn't have a lot of exchanges, we had a lot of exchange problems. There was a ton of fees that are on the network at the time because everybody was on chain trying to move things up to Coinbase, and Binance was just coming online. So a lot of big key different indicators that are going on right now with the difference between 2017 versus now. There's been a lot of horizontal development and acquisition of coin over the last 3 years that's now given the ability to scale up quickly when people are trying to come on ramps. We have Cash App, we have Robinhood, we have a lot more liquidity centers to be able to allow people to get in and invest, not just from some of the larger institutions that have picked up Bitcoin and have given it also a bolster of confidence, but it's actually really like the main street, the folks that are learning about crypto right now can go out there, hit the Robinhood app, can place an order, and now you have a lot of buy pressure on that. So you have now the horizontal growth. That's the main core difference that I'm seeing from my vantage point, from just looking at it from an architecture view of the differences between 2017 versus now, is you have that horizontal growth of being able to touch and be able to acquire crypto. But it still rolls back to, why are people now looking at Bitcoin? And I think there's multiple indicators. There's a lot of printing right now of the US dollar. Obviously, people don't know what's going to happen economically. In economics classes would tell you there's going to be a huge amount of inflation. You're printing a money supply. Somebody's going to pay for that at some point, right? I think part of that question, people are being first movers that have not been into Bitcoin are coming into Bitcoin because they're like, you know what? Market's at all-time high. Do I come into the market? It's been growing annually. A lot of people with good portfolios have been moving up 19%, good amount. That's a good year. But you're seeing crypto start to rise. People are like, I'm going to diversify. It's not just about going all in on crypto. The people that are taking it pragmatically are looking at it like, I'm definitely going to do this into my portfolio. Office of the Comptroller, there's a lot of legislation, FinCEN, a lot of movement on the government side that is starting to not just warm up to crypto, but just look at like, how are we going to framework this? How is taxes going to work with this? You're having this as a validation that crypto is not going anywhere. And I'll come back to a whole other point of like the largest skeptic out there where they're like, it's a bubble. It's not, there's no way it's going to continue. It's a tulip. It's all this. There is a fundamental shift on the mindsets of people that mine cryptocurrency, that are part of cryptocurrency, that I think has an equal attraction to younger folks that want a digital asset. They are the microtransaction kids that came up, having to pay for microtransactions, having to be part of the ecosystem in a digital manner versus an analog manner. And as the larger CEOs that are out there, Tim Cook of Apple, all these different CEOs that are out there, as they start to transition out in the next 4 to 8 years, when they start coming out of their companies and you have the younger generation coming in, they're looking at digital assets, they're looking at diversifying their portfolios, and they're going to put it in their company treasuries, right? So now you have company treasuries that are going to get it. You have legislation that's moving towards framework around it, which gives people confidence, and you have this massive growth of transfer of wealth into crypto because people, quite honestly, don't trust institutions. It's a thing. It's been a thing for a long time, and now the on-ramps are there to enable the transfer. So that's a key another factor. So I'm super bullish. I've always been bullish about crypto. I've been in this space for a very long time. I've had this channel since 2013, trying to educate people on how to participate in it, to uphold it from a service provider level. But now I think it really comes down to people that are, that are mining and reinforcing it. People that are now just learning and trying to get into it are trying to understand the value, understand why are people putting into it, and should they? And what it comes down to is dollar cost averaging in will always keep you with a good exposure without a lot of risk when it comes to you're buying the dips, you're buying some of the highs, and you keep it over time. Keep it as a portfolio decision. I mean, this is obviously, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm giving you optics from my point of view of being in the space for a long time.
My apologies. I couldn't hear what what you said.
And there's Siri doing her thing, listening in on all this conversation. Bottom line, this isn't financial advice. I know it really sounds like financial advice. I am not a licensed financial person, but I'm just telling you from my own experience, from my own time and investment into this space, and trying to educate people into this space to be participants as miners, from people that don't want to take the technical, trying to be a miner, to being able to, there are on-ramps out there for you. There are Robinhood, Binance USA, a lot of different places that you can participate in this, take a small position in it, and, you know, ride that financial freedom with everybody else out there ready for it. So hope to have you. If you guys have questions, please put them down in the comments below. I try to respond to everything. I know this was kind of an off video from the normal mining stuff. We will get back to that. I promise you, there is a lot to talk about on the mining scenes right now, but I wanted to make sure for the folks that are having to deal with this in crypto right now with all their friends and family that you guys had another video to point to help people try to get an understanding of where things are going. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.